Hey, this is Annie.
And this is Bridget.
And this is Stuff Mom Never Told You. Today, we're going to talk about something that has come up at least twice on Stuff Mom Never Told You. Once with you and Emily, Bridget, and once with Kristen and Caroline. And that's marriage, and specifically a feminist marriage. Is it possible? Can it be done? Feminist marriage. And we're speaking with Jo Piazza, who's written a book, How to Be Married, and it has a new podcast coming out called Committed. It's coming out June 6th. I've been hearing stories about the production aspect, the pre-production aspect of that show, and it's been fascinating. I'm very excited to hear it. It's Jo goes out and interviews people with marriages that perhaps don't fit into what we would traditionally think of as a marriage and ask them, how are you married? How does it work for you? And just a look at all of these different marriages. But I know that we've talked about this a little bit off mic, Bridget, and you've mentioned it some on the show, but I wanted to ask, as a kid, did you think about marriage a lot?
I probably did as a kid. I remember looking back, it's embarrassing, but I remember some fake weddings that we used to have as kids, like dress-up weddings with my brother as the groom.
Oh, no.
Which I guess is probably illegal, but...
It was fake.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't legally binding that I know of.
Oh, gosh.
If I check into that.
That's like a smash cut in a sitcom. Oh, no.
It'll be like follow-up episode. So it turns out my brother and I are legally married.
And I'm dealing with that in court right now. It's going to follow me around for the rest of my life.
How about you? Were you the kind of kid who dreamed about being married?
No, I never did. And it's one of those things that I always felt was weird as a young girl, because you're kind of, I guess, expected to fantasize about, I'm going to wear this dress and it's going to be at this location. I don't know if you ever played MASH. Yeah, okay. Well, this was this game for anyone that didn't know. It was mansion, apartment, shack, house was what MASH stood for. It was basically a game to see like where you were going to end up in the future, who you're going to marry, how many kids you're going to have, what dress you're going to get married in. That was the extent of my wondering about marriage. I did know I wanted a short dress because I didn't want to have to fool with the long train when I was dancing or whatever.
Oh, I thought that, well, the train is detachable, I think.
Oh.
I actually don't know. What do I know? But similarly, I knew from the movie Clueless, I knew I wanted to have a sailor hat, but it was going to be a veil. And then what? And then all my bridesmaids were going to wear a sailor hat. This is from, if you've seen the movie Clueless, Cher's friend Dee describes her perfect dream wedding, and it involves a nautical theme where she wears all of her bridesmaids wear sailor outfits, and that her cap it's going to be a sailor's cap with a veil attached, which I thought sounded very classy when I was like 11. So yeah, maybe I'll still do that if I ever get married.
I mean, that sounds fun, at least. It sounds like it'd be fun. As I've gotten older, I have come to the decision that I probably am not the type of person that will ever get married. I don't think it's for me. And for a while, when I would tell people this, they would always say, like, you're going to change your mind. You're going to meet the right guy. Everything's going to fall into place. And I believed that for a while, too. My last relationship, I just got out of a relationship that was 2.5 years long. And we broke up because I think he thought if he waited me out, I would change my mind. And he said, I want to get married. I don't have kids. And I still didn't. And I told him, it's a roll of the dice if I ever change my mind. And then he's like, we need to break up. And I thought, to be fair to him, I did enter into that relationship thinking maybe I would change my mind too. But I don't think that that's going to happen anymore.
Why do you think it's not for you?
I think that for a lot of reasons. I have a really close friend group, and all of our parents are either divorced or extremely unhappy. There's only one couple that's like still together, and she's actually my friend's mom in this couple. She is this voice I hear. She's like the Jiminy Cricket of of my brain, but she's really, really conservative, and they're Catholic. And so she used to say that if you take divorce off the table, you'll never get divorced. And I was like, okay.
Kind of an intense thing to say.
But she used to say to me that the reason so many people are getting divorced is because we've made it an option for so many people to get divorced. Almost like it's a cop-out, like at the first sign of trouble, like, okay, I'm getting out. But I don't think that's necessarily true. I just hear her voice all the time in the back of my head. Well, Annie, you should get married because that's when you're going to be happy and that your life will have meaning and it will be complete. But, yeah.
But you strike me as someone who has a very complete life. You have a close friend group, really dope hobbies, a cool job. Why do people think that because you're an unmarried person that your life is not complete? It sounds very full.
I know. This is a question I ask myself all the time, and it's such a strange thing because to me, it's just not a priority. I do have a full life, but so many times, especially in like any kind of family, extended family type thing, that's the first thing they want to know. Who are you dating? I mean, when are you going to settle down? When are you going to find the guy? As if I'm living this immature... Which, to be fair.
But it's not immature because you don't want to get married.
Right.
It's immature for other reasons.
It's immature for other reasons.
I'm kidding.
Right. My late night, like, going out maybe. But in the day, I'm a very mature person. But all those questions always make me feel like I have failed in some way or like I am running out of time. And one day I'm just going to realize I wasted all of my youth and now no one will ever want to marry me. You know, do you feel something similar to that?
I do. Oh, where do I start? I mean, my vibe is similar. I mean, I'm older than you, Annie. Mm-hmm. And I think for me, I'm not against the idea of getting married.
Oh, no, me either.
I'm not someone who says, I'll never get married. I don't want to be married. I'm totally open to it. I think at this point in my life, I wonder if I'll still do that in my life. And it's sort of, if it happens, it happens. If not, I guess I have to be okay with it. I don't talk a ton about my romantic life on the podcast. I like to keep that private. But I will say that I was engaged and never got married. And I think what I learned from that experience was that there are lots of different kinds of love that you can have. And there are lots of different kinds of partnerships that you can have. And there are lots of different kinds of ways that people can feel romantically fulfilled. And that marriage is one of them, but it's just one of many.
Yeah.
And I think, growing up in the South, for me, it felt a touch unusual to not be married. When I was a bit younger, I remember thinking, when I would see my very young classmates get paired off and buy homes and all of that, I remember feeling deep down in my bones that even if I wanted it, that probably would never be me. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know why. I didn't know where that feeling was coming from. I just sort of knew it. I knew that life, I probably would never have that life. And I thought I would stay up late and think, I probably will be alone forever. And it's a very heavy kind of person that thinks that when they're like 15.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so as I've gotten older, I mean, this is making me sound very tortured, but yeah, I'm as Carrie Bradshaw would say, I am open for love, ready for love, all of that nonsense. But yeah, I guess to be someone who is, and I hate to use this word, and please don't crucify me, but